We have become the first country in Africa and one of the first in the world to introduce a digital currency to her citizens.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Fisayo here, and in this video we will be talking again about the e-naira, Nigeria's digital currency. This time around though, we'll be reviewing the e-naira app. I'll talk about everything, my honest opinion using this app, my experience, and the problems I've been facing, the problems I faced and concerns. Also guys, we spoke with the Deputy Governor of the CBN.
So thank you very much, Fisayo, for having me. As you rightly said, my name is Kingsley Obiora. I am Deputy Governor Economic Policy in the Central Bank of Nigeria.
So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and watch out for that video when it drops real soon after this one actually. And we also spoke to the creators of the e-naira itself, the people who built the technology, that is Bit Inc. What is Bit Inc. and what is your role at Bit Inc.?
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Been following you for several months now, even before I joined Bit.
All of that will be discussed in a later video. So again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the bell icon to turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when that video drops. This video though is more of a hands-on video of me using the app and all of the issues I faced so far and what I think about it. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I love it if you could hit that like button so more people can benefit from the knowledge that we'll be sharing here in this video. You never know, hitting that like button would help somebody get more knowledgeable about this review. Anyway, I've said too much, I'll shut up now. Without further ado, let's get to the video. Alright, so the e-naira did launch, although not on the 1st of October as it was originally planned. The launch was delayed for a couple of reasons which were not so clear, but there were articles about the fact that there was an unanticipated surge in the number of people who visited the website, which would have affected this, the safety, scalability, and security of the e-naira system. And also the name e-naira was also trademarked by a company called eNaira Payment Solutions Limited. eNaira Payment Solutions Limited was in fact suing the CBN to stop them from using the name. According to reports, the court then ruled that the unveiling of the digital currency by the CBN may proceed. The eNaira's unveiling may proceed based on national interest, and also because the plaintiff, that is the company that is taking the CBN to court, the plaintiff may be compensated adequately. Anyway, the CBN now owns the domain eNaira.com, and eNaira.com has now become, or redirects to enaira.gov.ng, signifying that it is now a government-owned domain. After the e-naira was launched though, it was not all rosy at all. The app had major bugs, major issues. People who didn't have their email linked to their BVN or bank verification number couldn't sign up. This led to a massive amount of 1-star ratings on the Play Store, and it wasn't clear whether the developers, that is the CBN, or maybe it was Google themselves that took the app down, but the app disappeared from the Play Store after over 100,000 people have downloaded it. That's for the consumer wallet alone. I even went on Twitter with my own set of criticisms, and I brought to question whether there was enough user acceptance tests. Maybe the CBN could have allowed a few people who are outsiders or key opinion leaders test this app, give feedback, and so all the errors can be fixed before releasing it to a mass audience. I even had issues with my own bank where I couldn't make a deposit. It wouldn't link with my bank, it wouldn't link with another bank even, and the help link was taking me straight to CBN's homepage, which isn't mobile friendly at all, by the way. Unfortunately, some of these issues still exist as at this time of making this video, and they fixed some of them. I'll share my experience using the actual app shortly in this video. However, I specifically asked Bit Inc., the company behind the technology, what actually happened.
Yeah, that is true. So we did launch knowing that the segment of the population that could onboard will be limited to those that actually have an email address associated with their BVN. So on the eNaira.com website, we were pushing users to go and update their BVN information with financial institution where they created their BVN initially. But we've heard the users and accelerated the plans that we already had to have users specify their own email address. And currently the workflow actually provides the possibility for a user to sign up using an email address of their choice.
The use of central bank digital currencies can help move away more people and businesses from the informal into the formal sector.
Now let's look at the app itself, shall we? The eNaira has two apps, the individual app that looks like this and the merchant app that looks like this. I'll be going into the setup of these apps in a bit. In my previous eNaira video, I talked about the limit, but the design paper has now updated these limits for individuals and businesses. For individuals, there's now 4 tiers, from tier 0 to tier 3. And as you can see, non-bank account holders can create their eNaira wallet with only a phone number and no NIN. And they can have 20,000 Naira transaction limits with 120,000 Naira cumulative daily balances. And on the highest tier, you have the BVN requirement, 500,000 Naira daily limit and a cumulative balance of 5 million Naira. Of course, after you've submitted more details, that's your BVN, NIN, and other stuff. The people who are sort of lucky in this aspect are the merchants or businesses who have no daily limit and no cumulative daily balances, because of course they are businesses and they have large transaction volumes to deal with. You don't want to stop that kind of transaction flow. Now let's start with the individual app. The goal is to make a cash deposit from my normal bank account into my eNaira wallet. And how fast can I do that? We'll deposit 510 Naira in this video. First things first, head to the Play Store or the Apple App Store and search eNaira. You'll find 2 apps. One is the Speed Wallet with a white background for the individual, and the other is the Speed Wallet for the merchant with a bluish background. Due to the BVN issue, as I mentioned earlier, the app has a 2-star rating or 2/5-star rating at this time of making this video, which is quite bad actually. Once you click sign up with your bank, you will select your bank. Keep in mind that once you select a bank, that's the bank you stick with, and that's sort of your your eNaira identity, if you will. You can't change it if you want to maintain the identity, or else you have to delete or close the wallet and sign up again with another bank. Anyway, after filling a couple of your details, your registration becomes successful. The BVN issue is now sort of hopefully non-existent, because you can only use your email addresses now, any email address with your BVN. But eventually, once you want to make larger transactions, you need to do more KYC details, that is your bank account, BVN, NIN, stuff like that. Once that is done, you click the activation link from your email address to log in to the app. I also like the fact that you can set up biometric login, so that's your Face ID on the iPhone or fingerprint reader on the Android devices to get access to your eNaira wallet. The app looks simple and has only 3 categories for ease of use: receive, pay, and history. When you click on receive, you see your payment code. It's kind of like a crypto transaction with a QR code. You also have a wallet address. You can share your wallet address, QR code, or use a username with the @ to receive money, or you can send a specific request for an amount. Clicking on the pay tab here is where you can scan other QR codes from maybe another eNaira app. If you're buying something or you want to make payments, you can just scan the QR code and seamlessly pay eNaira to eNaira. And lastly is the history tab. Self-explanatory. This is where you see the history of all your transactions. In the options section, you can see your wallet balance. You can change your personal information. You can authorize withdrawals. You can call for support from CBN or Union Bank and log out of the app. Unfortunately, my app had a bug that showed the CBN's homepage when I clicked, the Union Bank support section, and my help button wasn't working. I tweeted about this and I've reported this bug to the guys at Biting as well. In the personal information section, you can see your wallet address, and you can also see the note that, the associated financial institution, or in other words, your bank cannot be changed. And to do that, you must create a new eNaira account, just like I mentioned. In order to move money into the eNaira wallet, you can either receive it by, of course, sending your wallet address, that's the string of numbers, or the QR code, or send a specific amount request to move it from, eNaira to eNaira. And there's also the option of moving eNaira from your normal banking app to your eNaira wallet. Do note that it is only the bank you sign up with that you can do this with. I tried it with other banks, it didn't work, but that's how it's designed. Your eNaira identity is tied to your own bank or the bank you signed up with. Now let's try to make a transaction. I want to send 510 Naira into my eNaira wallet from my regular bank account. This is the way it will be done for now, until there's of course massive adoption. First off, I'll log in to my banking app, and now every bank has the eNaira section within it. If yours doesn't, you simply need to update your banking app and you see eNaira, the eNaira tab there. Click on eNaira and it will prompt you to log in with your eNaira email and password. Once that is done, you then sign up to your app. You'll see the eNaira wallet ID or account number. current balance and transaction history. One thing that is very similar with the main eNaira app is the 3-step approach, at the bottom navigation panel, and that is the history, send and receive. It is also translated in your banking app as well, which is quite cool. The exact same toggles are on there, and we have, the same way we have it on the main eNaira app. All right, so to send money to your eNaira app, you click receive. It would show you your wallet ID and a button to add funds and transfer from your bank to eNaira. All you need to do now is type the amount and the description of the transaction, hit confirm, and that is all. Once you get on the eNaira, you'll see the transaction showing pending. It just means you're expecting money to come in. And as you can see here, my first transaction shows that I have of course received 50 Naira via the P2P method. So I sent my eNaira handle to someone and they sent me eNaira, and that was it. I actually just sent it on Twitter and I got 15 Naira, paid it. It entered my account like a minute. This other 510 Naira transaction though took longer than 10 minutes. It was later deposited, and once you click the transaction, you get to see the details of the transaction and your new balance as well. You can also hide your balances. Now, the eNaira app for merchants or businesses. So far, we've been talking about the individual side of things, and now we've got to the merchant or the business side of things. Remember when we're talking about limits? Well, the business eNaira wallets don't have any limit regarding how much you can send and receive. Once this is downloaded and you hit the sign up button, the prompt asks you to register with the Central Bank of Nigeria and gives you the following terms. You need to sign up with your tax identification number, you need your bank account number, you need a valid email address and a phone number. Once you click sign up, you would need to sign up with a partner bank. The same way the individual app signs up with your partner bank, it's the same way the merchant app would sign up with your partner bank as well. For the merchant app, this time you will need a full name, a BVN, email, phone number, date of birth, and of course your password. Once those are entered, you get to the next phase. This is where you get to put the legal business name, the trading business name, the company registration number, and of course, your business category. What kind of business is it? Once you enter those details, you will add your account number and tax identification number. They will show you all of the details and ask you to confirm. So all you need to do now is to agree to the terms and conditions in order to continue. Keep in mind that registering a business on the eNaira platform will take around 48 hours for your bank to complete it, and it will show you certain notices. Unlike the individual eNaira wallet though, you get 4 tabs on here instead of 3. You get exchange, pay, history, and invoice, which is replacement for receive on the individual side of things. There's receive on the eNaira individual wallet. Here there's invoice. Clicking on currency exchange, you notice that you can exchange cash for eNaira or eNaira for cash as a business with your customers. Think of this like sending and receive buttons, because clicking on load shows you the pay parameter where you can scan or send money or load other people's wallets, and clicking on cash, cash withdrawal sends a pay code where people can scan your own eNaira code or send eNaira to you and you give them cash. Clicking on the pay tab shows you the same camera scanner to scan eNaira QR codes, just like the individual. So here now, businesses can pay people. The history tab, of course, again, self-explanatory. This is where you see a history of all your transactions. Herein, you can also hide your balances as well. And in the invoices section, again, like I mentioned, this is where you can send your payment code to receive money, just like the receive tab on the individual account section, except this is a business and you have to send invoices for tax purposes. And of course, you can request specific amounts. In the options, you can see reports, add employees. Of course, these employees would have to have eNaira accounts of their own. And these are some of the benefits that you get with the eNaira. You can also authorize withdrawals, check your business info, get help, and contact support or log out if you are tired of the app. Anyway, I asked the CBN Deputy Governor why he thought businesses, would be better on board with things like this, and here's what he had to say.
What is economic growth? You studied economics. It's really activity.
Yeah.
So to the extent today, for example, that it is faster and easier and cheaper for me to pay you for services, then if you multiply that faster, cheaper payment of services, that's growth. So it's a small store, for example, who somebody buys something for, say, 1,350 Naira, but he gave you 1,500. You see all these store men running up and down. Okay, wait till they go find change. Time is going. There are other people he's supposed to service. He's not servicing them. So just imagine if they were paying with eNaira. The guy just comes, he's contactless, and you pay exactly what you purchased, 1,350. Nothing like change. So that store person is able to accommodate more people. I can even tell you, Fisayo, we have already seen the eNaira app downloaded in over 175 countries. And this is not King Stobiora's data. This is Apple and Google telling us this is where we are seeing this app downloaded.
That's interesting. Wow.
So they may all not be, these may be just Nigerians, but we are seeing it not just with the consumer app, but also with the merchant app. So it's very possible. Again, I don't want to be too speculative here because it's early days, but just from what we are seeing, if you have a currency app already downloaded in over 175 countries, I don't think that will just be all P2P. There will be some trade. So we believe that it will not just help intra-country trade, as I explained to you, in terms of the pace and quickness with implementing, but also cross-border trade.
Alright guys, so this is part 1 of a series on this eNaira, and in the second part of this video we will be breaking down every single thing you need to know about the eNaira. I reviewed the 27-page document on the eNaira design and everything, every single thing, so you don't have to. Obviously, I read articles, I read fake news, I read true news. I talked to the CBN deputy governor, hearing from the source himself, the person who was in fact in charge of the eNaira project. I talked to the actual creators of the eNaira, that's Bit Inc., that are creating digital currencies for countries. So they're the ones that created the eNaira for us. I also spoke with them, and we just basically did a couple of detailed analysis. So if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you have notifications turned on, so you'll be the first to see that, so you won't miss out on anything. And there's a join button right there if you want to be one of the exclusive members to get access to like the full length 30-minute long interview. If you want to get all the full gist and not like cut down, just join there. Exclusive members will be the only one that have access to this. So you know what that means. Anyway, if you found this video useful, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps, and it helps more people get access to this body of knowledge that we've shared. And if you have any questions at all or any comments, please just drop a comment in the comment section down below. I'll be there chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you in the very next video.